Hello, Cancer. This is Ron, your clairvoyant on Tarot of the Twin Sun. I will be doing your July reading for 2019. This is a shift from Gemini to Cancer energy. We will notice that mental energies and foreplay and flirtatiousness of the month of, that was June, will shift over, and it will change essentially from the power of the sort of magician card to more of that of the Knight of Cups energy, which I've been sort of seeing quite a bit of in my readings lately. There is a distinct propensity for a number of things. Number one, Mercury retrograde is hitting, and it will affect your relationships, and in a way, the way the past comes into the present. This is a possibility. Now, we will do a reading for you using the Tree of Life spread, which I don't use often. However, today we will do so like this. And we'll go ahead and alter the altar. So, I'll go ahead and shuffle a few and begin your reading for July 2019, dear Cancer. Please, cards, balance out and figure the general energy for the month. I'm feeling a bit of relationship energy here, using your intuition. And definitely an offer of love with the Knight of Cups energy, which is definitely here. Okay. Cancer. What is essentially on your mind, generally speaking, in the month of July is the Four of Rods energy. This is passion that moves from the Three of Rods. Your ships have come in the form of a union of types. Passions are ignited, and there is a general movement towards communication and commitment that is based on the fashions and fires of love. Okay? 4 is a very interesting number. It is one of the most structured numbers according to lore, and 4 is essentially the gateway that stems from hard work. Now, if we look at the actual movement of the rod's energy, the rod's cycle, we have the Ace, which is the beginning of new passions, the 2, which is making a choice between 2 passions, and going forth into the 3rd card, which is waiting for your ships to come in and waiting for your sort of bounty in terms of a passionate connection. With the 4, there is someone in your area that you have made, you haven't made it. There's something that drives it in your heart. There certainly is a connection that you are shooting for in the month of July. There's no doubt about it. Now, the energies surrounding this, and I'm building the Tree of Life, have to do with movement, with the Prince of Staves. This is basically the Page of Rods energy page. And there could be potentially a number of signs around you, a Libra as well as a Leo, that has caught your eye and your attention. They might have this complexion in their chart. And meeting them has essentially created an imbalance, or perhaps an acceleration of passions within your relationship dynamic. And in the near influence, the near future, when you see this person, you might perceive them as essentially someone who is trying or perhaps failing to balance out an equal give and take within a situation, and also a lack of communication. I see blocks in in the way and the means you and your partner may communicate or not. However, there is a certain movement about your partner in which they are moving forth with communications. They are of a very passionate sort of connection with you. There might be a lot of lust or carnal desire within the connection, yet a lack of communication, yet there is a sort of propensity for a type of union. The difficulty is that there isn't quite enough communication within this relationship, and because of Mercury retrograde, there might be an imbalance of general communication in general. Therefore, I would recommend to to rely, instead of on passion, to rely on the emotional connection you have with this person. Okay, there is a feeling of the past with the Six of Cups, and there is a movement that moves you, that you are not in control of. The connection you have is essentially childlike with this person, and they can be of a water sign complexion, including, I'm reading all the water signs, so Pisces, Scorpio, and even another Cancer is potential. However, this comes as more as a subtle force, and I read it more as the Six of Cups indicating certainly a past life experience with this person, and potentially a great emotional wealth with this person that comes in the form of fire. Yet there is an inability of you or your partner to recognize that there is a strong emotional bond that is beyond time, that is certainly a part of an aspect of your relationship. So this is your strength, and it is also something of a weakness. There might be a potential karmic complexion to the relationship, and there might be a bit of fear because of the pressures of commitment that you or your partner may be placing upon each other. And it is a conflict between things that are Venusian, things that are of pleasure, things that are of beauty and grace and eloquence, yet because of the inability for judgment to be exacted, or an equaling of scales to be implemented into the relationship, it is primarily fiery, and there still is a connection between you and this person. Okay? The tree goes on. So what can we see? As a fundamental root of the nature of the connection, this is definitely a relationship complexion now of your reading, Cancer. There is the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Discs, and it came out in the upright. There certainly is, either for you or your partner, they might have a bit of earthy demeanor to them, or earth in their chart. Your partner and the way they may have behaved in any sort of past experiences, say you were in a relationship in the past and it didn't work out, there may be a possibility that they are slow movers, and they have a sort of very slow way of coming into and out of your life, potentially. The irony is that they slowly move, but with passions that seem to flare up out of nowhere, and recently that may have come as a surprise to you, but no surprise, you sort of are feeding that as well, Cancer. At the same time, there is a bit of a lack of communication, but there still is a connection between you two. And this partner may have a bit of Taurus or Capricorn or Virgo in their chart, grounding them, yet causing a bit of hesitancy. So the fixity comes from Taurus. There's a lot of Taurus in this, and Taurus is essentially the opposite to you, Cancer. So I see fundamentally a soulmate type of energy here. And we're going to go ahead and clarify why. These cards just fell out. I'm just going to shuffle them again. Why this placement is here. Yep. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So with this placement, this configuration, this triangulation, there's a bit of mental or communication breakdown with the Five of Swords down here. And it's difficult to reconcile the way you and your partner may communicate or may not. It seems to me that there's quite a bit of slow progression to a type of victory, okay? Victory based on passions, yet the passions themselves are not repressed, but are hidden. They're not entirely expressed. They may be expressed through action, through carnal pleasure, or any sort of primitive drives that stem from physical contact. Yet the fundamental fire that drives the relationship isn't entirely shared between you two. One may be giving more than the other, yet there's still a push towards the 6 energy, and the 6 shows up twice here in your reading. You have the 6 of Cups and the 6 of Wands. So I'm seeing yet again more soulmate energy, but it might be shifting to twin-like energy or perhaps karmic. My personal opinion with twin is to not use it so lightly, and I think anything that has twin energy is essentially karmic anyway. There's a lesson to be learned, that is karma. And usually with twin relationships, there are potentials for great obstacles, and it seems to me the obstacle here, if this is a twin relationship, is the inability to express or commune on a communicative level. So it's really difficult for you to talk to this person and level with them in the way you guys communicate. And it doesn't help that the Knight of Pentacles shows up, because it indicates a very slow-moving and methodical approach. Your lover essentially is sensual. They are quite aesthetically pleasing on a physical level, and they're generally slow movers, very, very slow movers in terms of pushing the relationship forward. However, the goal still is, in the month of July, the 4 of Rods energy. Therefore, you guys are trying for a commitment, but without communication, it's very difficult. And I know, Cancer, you yourself have difficulty expressing right now, especially with Mercury retrograde. It's such a huge thing. But rely on the 6 of Cups energy as both a challenge and a stepping stone into the future. And this is your future placement. Okay, we have Aries energy here, the Fool. The Fool. And the Fool is a beautiful card to have in that it talks about new beginnings and new cycles. It is basically the zero, the ground zero of the major arcana, at least in the Crowley deck. And with the Fool, we have, yes, new birth and new creation. However, if it's in reverse like this, I would say it's more about recreation. And this is definitely sort of negating any past or karmic ties with this person. There is something new about this relationship that suggests a reuniting of you two. So basically there was a break and a lack of communication, yet in the near future there will be recreation. But this comes in the form of very playful communication. Therefore, I would recommend to take a playful stance. If there's anything to be learned about the previous energies of Gemini, is to be lighthearted, to be playful, and to be flirtatious. However, with Cancer season, there is a re-stratification of emotional content based here. But if you can communicate with your lover in a way that is playful and also emotional, like children, then there is a good chance to reach their heart. Now, I will build the last pyramid for you, pyramid structure for Cancer. to see how to approach, to see what kind of influences, the influences and approach of Cancer towards this person, how best to reach the Six of Cups energy as well as the Four of Rods energy. Yeah. Okay. And one more card, please. One more card, please. One more card, please. Okay, interesting. Keep that aside. Okay. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, so Cancer, highly recommend for you to rely on the good graces of the wheel, which is the center card here. And the wheel indicates good fortune, yes, but a reversal of roles more than anything. I'll show you. So we have a Sphinx up top, a type of crocodile creature down the bottom, and then a load of other sort of strange animals surrounding the wheel. The Sphinx on top is usually indicative of riddles and the mysteries of natural sort of, the sort of mysteries of the world, okay? And there's a sort of power behind it in that the Sphinx is both monstrous and tyrannical, yet a complete mystery, and there's something very mysterious about that placement. Now, the beauty of the wheel is that once it is shifted, once it rotates according to the stars and configurations of the sky, cycles will end and begin, okay? Now, the cycle that I was talking about here with the Fool card is a new beginning, yet, like I said, it's recreation. So this person is essentially, you and this person may be gearing towards restarting the wheel in order to create a reunion, a reconciliation rather. So there's a matter of closing unfinished business and figuring out how to make, say, a new commitment. However, because of the Three of Swords in reverse, there was quite a bit of heartache that you guys are still healing and recovering from, okay? Also, the Two of Cups in reverse. So there's a strong, really, really strong connection here. And there's a progression of, yes, meeting them, falling in love, and sharing cups, yet moving on from that and moving on towards Three of Cups energy, okay? Which indicates flirtatiousness, fun, you know, small things, recreation, flirting, and like loving on a very lighthearted way, okay? Think Gemini. Yet there is an indication of the past influencing the way and the gears of the wheel and influencing the Fool energy. So essentially, there's a possibility for divine timing coming into this relationship, okay? Okay, and lastly, we have the Queen of Swords energy. Queen of Swords energy is all about the ability to be regal and communicative and open to communication. However, the parallel ability to relinquish your partner's ego. That is, to cut off, say, anything that doesn't serve the relationship. And if this happens to be that person, then there is a force throughout this entire reading that is putting you in a position of power through communication to either halt or stop any advances towards progression. Now that is up to you, Cancer. However, because this person and you have hurt each other as well as stepped away from Two of Cups energy and moved towards a lightheartedness, I'm not sure how much you would be willing to take them back or them take you back. However, I think they are a bit more, your partner, if they exist, there's a bit more of passions that burn brightly, while they may not have really entirely recognized the Six of Cups energy and how much it's affecting any potential relationship. At the same time, lastly, this card is the High Priest, okay? The High Priest is indicative of solidifying through a Taurian energy commitment and refortifying any structures that have been previously created between you two, okay? Take it as you will. I really appreciate your candor and your ears. So please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon, Cancer. Thank you.